Okay. I know it's been some time since I last uploaded anything to my channels on Twitch or YouTube, but I decided that since I've been away, I was playing a lot of other card games. I was busy living life, but I decided to do this deck list for a list in the Gundam card game. Recently, I started playing the Gundam card game about a year ago. I played it into the beta, and I've been trying to find a card game that I really have like some really close connections to, and also having fun with. And this game answers a lot of these questions. It's a Bandai game, but anyway, I want to go over this list today. This is from Gundam 00, one of my favorite shows in the Gundam franchise. And I play this deck because it's like I always play what I like. This deck's like super rogue. Um, do It's not a list that you will probably win at New Type Challenge, but who knows? You might get lucky. But anyway, this list that I've been using for the past few weeks with a couple changes here or there, and this is well, it's like a this is like a local legend kind of thing. Like you'll do well with this deck at your locals, okay? Like once again, I don't think you'll be winning nationals with this thing at all, or New Type Challenges, but you won't get smoked. You will definitely have a good fighting chance. But so today I want to talk about this deck, Celestial Being from Gundam 00. My name is Rich, and let's go through the deck. I want to talk about the deck and what it does. And what this deck does, it does a little bit of everything. It could be very aggressive, it could be kind of controlling, it could be very defensive, all about how you play your cards, right? This deck has a really good matchup into aggro, surprisingly, and it does really well in the mid game as well. One thing that I modified this deck to deal with is to deal with blockers, and I will go through that right shortly. But let's talk about the deck list real quick. You can see at the top I have 4 of these Zero Gundams, the O Gundam. This is a little 2-1 on curve stomper. The next card I have is Gundam Virtual. It's a pseudo blocker. If you have a Celestial Being pilot in play, it becomes a blocker. So it doesn't matter where it is. You can have it on anything. If a pilot's in play, this card becomes a blocker. It's not too bad. It's kind of consistent considering the fact that you have a lot of pilots in the deck. Next card I have is 3 of Gundam Exia, just a generic 4-2 beat stick. You can throw it on the board, throw a pilot on it, and swing with it, or put Setsuna behind it to have haste. Next card is Gundam Dynamite, one of the MVPs of the deck. This card can snipe down when you pair lock on to any Celestial Being card unit, it can snipe down that level or lower. And you can see that there's a Dean here with that, right? So you can see lock on, I have a card for every level 8 that lock on can pair to and take down threats. So it's pretty helpful, honestly. We gotta take out those annoying blockers. Okay. The next card is Gundam Exia. This card, what it does, when you pair it with any pilot, you mill the top 2 cards of your deck. And if you mill the Celestial Being card, it just means the base card unit, you draw a card. Really strong. At the end of the turn, if you have 7 more Celestial Beings in your trash, you untap one. Kind of, plays together with his 7 swords kind of motif. Super helpful. We play a lot of like combat tricks, like this one here that we'll go over a little bit later. Next card I play is the GN Armor Type E. This is just a generic blocker that's a 6-4 blocker at 5-4 stats. Pretty good. It can link with any Celestial Being pilot, so it can be linked. So a lot of times, what I do is that I will link this with lock on to smoke a unit like a big blocker, and then they can't answer it because it's so strong. A 6/6, attacking you head on. It's something that most cards can't deal with. Next card is Gundam Exia Trans Am. This is like the boss of the deck. This card has suppression, so that means that when it hits your base, hits your life unbased, it takes 2 damage, okay? But it has an additional effect, which is kind of neat. If you have 10 or more Celestial Being cards in your trash, right? When this card destroys a base or a shield, I destroy the lowest card on the enemy side of the field, like lowest health. So if the opponent only has 1 card on board, they're losing their big body. Okay, really strong card. Actually, it's pretty strong, honestly. If the deck doesn't have blockers, this deck just does really well, honestly. The next unit in the deck is Gundam Wing Gundam Zero. Pretty much the biggest card that we have for green right now. This card is an 8/8, so it costs 8, level 8. And when you play it, everything level 5 or lower, it takes 3 damage. It's a good board clearer. As you see, as we get up in level, right, a lot of times these celestial beings, they're pretty beefy. Honestly, they can take a wing zero hit, so it's not too bad. It also has high maneuver, which is super important. Once again, it gets past those pesky blockers, which we keep dealing with constantly, right? The pilot, probably the best pilot in the deck, is Lock on Stratos. When you pair him with Celestial Being card, he can snipe the card that's the level, equal level or lower. That's active. Really strong for picking off like active blockers or cards that's like they just have a static effect that you want to get rid of. Also, when you link to his Dynamis, he gets a +2 AP, so he becomes a 5/6. And also, when he links to his Dynamis, right, or when a Dynamis kills something, the Dynamis recovers 2 instantly. It's really, really good. Best pilot in the deck. Setsuna FSA, the main character, Double O, his skill is just when you attack. It doesn't matter if Celestial Being or not. Throw him on and attack. It gains +1 AP when you attack. Now, there's 7 more Celestial Beings in the trash. Every Celestial Being unit gets +1 instead. This is really important, right? You pit Setsuna behind, like, let's say the O Gundam. The O Gundam is swinging for 5. This is a plus. He's a +3 attacker by himself. That's really important to know. So Setsuna can clear most units that are rested or trade. Okay. A lot of times, right, that I would do, I would see like a really, really big card. Let's say like a wing zero. Technically speaking, can get behind his Gundam Exia and kill like the generic Exia and kill Wing Zero if he has to. That's how powerful he is. Really, really good card. Really good. He really does do a lot of like work into aggro. Really powerful card. The next pilot in the deck is Tier Erde. Tier Erde is when destroyed. If this card is on a Celestial Being unit, you draw 1 card. So a lot of times what you would do, a lot of times people won't attack Tier unless they have to. You can throw Tier behind any Celestial Being card, and if they kill it during their turn, you draw a card. So you throw it on a blocker, you throw it on a card that's giving them grief. They're gonna have to kill it eventually, or they're gonna take I would just keep swinging face with this card until they actually deal with it. Really important. Our next card is Technical Visionary. This is the generic 1/1 starter for the deck. You play it, check top 3 cards, Celestial Being unit or pilot. This card has to be maxed out because missing your pairs in this deck is crucial that you don't miss. It's hard because if you don't have your pairs online, you miss so much, honestly. Playing this deck without so a lot of these cards, right, they don't work well by themselves. They work well in connection with the pilot. This deck forces you to pair or link when you can and makes the deck worthwhile. So it's really, really important. Next card, I have cut down. This should be a 3 of in my deck. Now it's only 2. It's Army Intervention. When burst, you draw a card. Pretty good. The main skill of it is when the opponent attacks, you can do action skill. You can choose one rested CB unit and change the attack target to that unit. So if you are, let's say that they attack and you block with this virtue, or you block with this type armor EN or E, whatever, you can just boom, trigger that over here, and you got 2 blocks basically. It's pretty strong. Or you can trigger this in conjunction with Tier, and also you can just shift that attack towards Tier, and then when Tier dies, guess what? You just drew a card. So you basically replace Arm Intervention from your hand already. It's pretty nice. The next card I added in the deck, this actually was a recent add because I've been having a lot of times, I've been dealing with a lot of blockers and big units that come on board. And so a lot of times, like I said before, right, these Celestial Being guys are pretty strong, and they can swing and kill something, if they wanted to. So I have a tech of these 2 called Bridge Crew. It's burst, you just add to your hand, really pretty good, at least you don't lose it. Activate main, choose 1 friendly unit, and during this turn, this unit may attack an enemy unit that has no paired pilot. This is important, okay? This is important. A lot of times, people play this game and they have a lot of blockers upright because they wall up, okay? I'm not a huge fan of that whole defensive walling up gameplay, play style. So this right here actually smokes them out. So this makes what I suggest people should do is test out this card because it's a sort of blocker heavy meta, and you want to get rid of these threats, when you can. So Bridge Crew is very important. you can just snipe a card that has like no pilot on it. You can use Dynamis again, and once again, Dynamis heals when it kills something and survives. It heals two hit points. So this right here. So say like you link Dynamis with Lock On, and you kill one of their cards, and then they play a blocker on next turn, and then you play this card right here, and then you do it again. That tempo swing is done because they're slow. The idea behind these defensive, they want to slow you down, and you're sniping these guys out with Dynamis, and you're smoking their bases, which are the cards, right? And then by the time they're so far behind, you can then overwhelm them with your forces. The last card we're going to is the next base. I run 4 Ptolemaeus. Ptolemaeus is standard base. It bursts, deploy this card, and adds to your hand, whatever. But this one is super unique. If you have a Rested Celestial Being CB unit, units that are 3 or lower cannot deal damage to this base, except unit tokens. So this thing against early game rush and aggro, you force them to trade. And then you force them to do really bad trades. Guess what? They're fueling your trash for Exia. And then Exia will start killing their board later on. Okay? So a lot of times for early game, when this card comes out, people, they generally won't attack, or they have to trade into your stuff. And they try to trade, guess what you do? You got a blocker up. You got tier out on the board. So if they're trading, you're getting value. You're drawing cards constantly from this stuff. It's really important. Okay? This deck is good, honestly. It's good. Once again, it's not going to be the deck that breaks the meta. This deck is actually, I believe, right, and this is going to sound kind of freaking stupid, but this is a deck that really feels like a mid-range deck. It does a little bit of everything, and I like that. Okay, it's not pigeonholed into like one way of playing. It could be flexible, it could be defensive, it could be aggressive. I like this a lot. With that being said, right, its best matches I think are against aggression, like like aggro. It does really well against aggro. It does really well against like ping or like burn. It doesn't really care about that. And it has the hardest matchups are, I would say, against the O. If the O gets to like level 6 or 7 and they put down that blocker of theirs, it's hard to get over that because you're wasting so many resources to kill out a lot of these cards, and it's tough. So the only thing I would say is, like if you can play against the O, like in their big blockers, maybe hold on to your lock-ons a little more to trade, and using the GN Armor Type E to trade, or really hope that you can don't wait on Exia for the destroy. Just get Exia online and hit the shields as fast as you can. Like, you gotta kill them quick, because the moment they get the O down with Shirako, it's kind of game over for you. You can't come back from that, because nothing in your deck can really challenge the O, except maybe Wing Zero, but that's still, I don't link Hero. Hero's not in his deck, so it's not even gonna smashing into Shirako won't even be a trade. It'd be like he would win in that favor. So other than that, I think the deck is good. It's definitely a rogue deck, tier 1.5, maybe high A. Sorry, I lied. High B to like low A. I don't know. It's still early on. This meta's not really defined yet, but from testing this deck out, I see weaknesses though. I see where it's strong, and I like it. It's really fun. I plan on playing this deck for the season, and they already shown off some new cards ready for set 4, which will make the deck even more consistent and better, because at the end of the day, you don't want to play vanillas, honestly. You want to play like cards that have like effects, when you play them, and we're gonna get better and better Celestial Being cards. As being one of the most popular shows out of the Gundam franchise, right? They're not going away for a while. So with that being said, thank you for staying this long. If you stay this long, give it a like, share it. Doesn't matter to me. Have fun. Try out this list if you like it. Modify it. Make it your own. But I noticed that there's not a lot of Celestial Being deck lists out there, so I decided to think, show mine off. I'm not hiding any tech here. I think people could probably make it better than me, but if people have any better ideas, please go for it. I still believe that I'm in a camp that I think that purple green right now works best for this deck, because there's the most Celestial Being names, and other color pairings don't really make any sense to me. But play what you want to play, have fun, and be safe. Take care. I'm out of here.